You guys are watching MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. I am Frank Trigg in Las Vegas, Nevada. That is T. Wood, just getting home. Tyron Woodley, get ready to fight Jake Shields up there in Winnipeg, of all places, UFC 161. T, you just got back from Florida, is that correct?
Yeah, I just got back from Florida. Was hanging out with the family. We tried to touch base earlier, and it was just wild and out of control. But, having three boys, man, it's a lot of testosterone in this house. We drive my wife crazy. So, for me, it was just, spending a little time with those guys. And then the work's done now, man. I'm ready to roll.
You've been gone for 6 weeks, right? So your boys haven't seen you in 6 weeks. That's a long time for them.
Yeah, man. I came back 2 weeks into the camp. I had an event in my gym, so it was 2 weeks away. Then it was another 4 weeks away. So they got to see me in the middle, man. But for those guys, they used to see me every day, picking them up from school, sending them at the gym and things like that. So it was a ton of time. I think the most I've been away is like 4 weeks before. So this was probably the longest.
Now, why'd you go away for so long this time? Is it just because of the opponent, or is it just how training camp worked out?
It's because of the opponent. This guy is he's tough as far as the grappling aspect. He's gonna put a lot of pressure forward. The little small things he does. I just wanted to basically put myself in the seclusion where I can think about the fight, think about him, and I'm not really worried about managing the gym and operating the family. I wanted to really be selfish this time around because it's a big opportunity. A victory over him is gonna put us as a family in a better position. So I had to really be selfish now so I can think about the family later.
Of course, Tyron's talking about Jake Shields, who his opponent is at UFC 161, coming up here on June 15th. Tyron, you're 11-1. Jake is 27-6. So the early money says that the experience of Jake Shields is going to well overwhelm you. What are you doing to counteract that?
Oh man, I can't do anything to counteract it. But his experience is not gonna equal the hunger and the talent, the explosiveness, the athleticism, the work ethic. So for me, everybody I fight at this stage is gonna have way more fights than me. Paul Daly had almost 40 fights. And Marco had almost 40 fights. So for me, it's really not trying to make up. I can't go out there and just take a million random fights to get that experience. But I have life experience, just dealing with adversity and overcoming wrestling matches and just, life in general prepares you for certain bouts like this. And I think that my life has been, a martial art, whether it's just been school or growing up in a tough neighborhood and hanging out with knucklehead guys. I think all those things add up and it really puts you in the mental state where you're either going to be tough and overcome or you're going to be, weak and allow it to affect you.
Now, what have you had to do differently for this training camp to get ready? Because you said usually you only spend 4 weeks away, and all of a sudden you spend 6 weeks away because of the opponent. What changed during this training camp that is going to help you get the victory coming up here on June 15th?
Well, usually I do like 4 weeks in St. Louis. Or I mix it up where I do several weeks in St. Louis and I go out of town and do some weeks. I might go to LA, I might go to Florida, I might go to San Jose. But for this camp in particular, why fly out guys that are grapplers or guys that can put that type of pressure, or Laborio, who's running the entire team, who's running my camp. So for me, I said, you know what, I'm gonna make the sacrifice this time. If it was a striking opponent, I would definitely go out to LA, get with some high level boxers, and I want to take myself to their element because then I can get more training partners. But in this case, it was easier for me to go out there where I had endless amount of black belts and brown belts and guys that do MMA that can really simulate their style.
How's your weight right now? You're about a week away from making weight. What's your weight like?
I haven't checked. I don't worry about it because I weigh the same. I weigh 190, 190-ish during training camp all the way up until the week of the fight. So I walk around the same pretty much every time. I think I might try to leave a little lighter. I usually get there between 187 to 190. Sometimes I've been 182 and Bert want to kill me. So this time I'm going to try to come in at maybe 185 and see if it feels a little easier. But I never have thoughts about missing weight. It's just a part of the game for me.
What is it like? Is Laborio going to be in your corner for this fight?
Yeah, Laborio's going to be out there. Yeah, he's going to be out there. It's great having him there because he has the wisdom. He's been in the game for a very long time. He's a mastermind at jiu-jitsu, and he knows Jake Shields very well. And it's just an added confidence of having him in the corner.
What's he like hanging out with him, during fight week and hanging around with him during training camp? He always seems to be very nice to the people that aren't underneath his tutelage, but what's he like to you guys that he's responsible for?
Well, he's nice. He's nice all around. He's just a genuine guy. And usually people can discern that. They can feel that about his spirit. He's just a genuine individual. But for us, during training camp, I told him we should do a video of him in training camp. You got guys that are talking these fights up, and they're making a lot of money off basically talking themselves in certain positions. So I said we should do a video on you, having you teach class, because he's nice, but he wants us to be the number one team in the world. It's flat out. It's no hidden agenda. There's no sidebars. He wants us to be the best team in the world, and we're getting close to being at that point. So he wants the sparring to be your best practice. A lot of guys get caught up in doing focus mitts all the time and running and sprinting and doing all the surface training. He says everything is a supplement sparring. If you are weak and your legs are tired, your arms are beat up, and you spar like crap, then you need to tone down on some of the other things. Now, if everything that you're doing is making you a stud in sparring, then you want to add those things. So yesterday, he said in practice, he was like, he said, hey, nobody want to watch you lay on top of someone. He said, nobody. He said, have you ever seen somebody get a decision of the night bonus? And it's just funny hearing that from a grappling world champ,
That is funny.
I'm like, I'm going to get that on the video.
you guys do got to start. You got to start taping him. You got to start taping him and see what he comes up with, because he has some. Every time I hang out with him backstage, whenever there's fights going on, whatever, he's always funny. He's always got a real good timing for his comedy. And I've always wondered how come no one ever has him being filmed during practice. I know he's even better during practice because he's more comfortable and it's his group of guys. So I would pay to see that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to Rich Antonito about it because he's always got to be serious and not calculated, but talking about his vision and he's all across. He was in Japan, he was in freaking Abu Dhabi, he was cornering somebody to fight, and then I seen him in the gym the next day. So he's stretching himself thin, but he's really big on building the brand globally, American Top Team. But he does have those little sharp jokes and stuff like that we were in class and everybody heard, and I just busted out laughing. I was like, I know you guys thought that was funny. He was like, it's knockout of the night, submission night. There's no decision of the night. He said you better go out there and fight so people want to watch you fight. And it's just cool to have a down-to-earth coach like that really understands the game.
Well, Ty, I know you just got home. I know you want to spend some time with your boys before they head off to bed. So I appreciate coming here to the MMA Oddsbreaker. Good luck next week against Jake Shields, but I honestly don't think you're going to need much luck in this fight. I think,
man, I've been trying to butt off, man. The main thing about this camp is not to take him lightly. It's so easy to watch his striking because it's terrible. So easy to watch his striking and be like, oh, I'm going to knock this dude out. But many have thought it, Dan Henderson and, Robbie Lawler. You get in there, it's a little different in the cage. So I've given this guy the respect that he deserves as a world-class grappler. I've worked every scenario, him in on the leg, him in on the double leg, him taking my back, he having me against the cage. So every aspect of the game, which he will have success, which all is on the ground, I found every way to keep him away from there. And when he gets frustrated and dive in, I think that's going to be my opportunity to knock him out. And, that's really the way I foresee next week going.
Our last question before we let you go, let you get back to your family. Henderson and Evans, how do you see this fight breaking down?
Man, that's crazy because, Henderson, he's always going to push the pace. If Rashad wants to push the pace, we'll see a firework fight. But if he doesn't, he has a way of not getting damaged. He tried it a little bit with Machida where he was kind of showcasing a little bit and kind of showboating, and it cost him. But in the other fights, like when he fought Nog and other guys, he has ability not to get damaged. So we can see a fight that's, kind of a stalemate, or if these guys just want to go after it, we'll see a crazy war. And I think the knockout power is going to have to go to Dan Henderson. But Rashad Evans is really fast, man. He can get in, he can get out, he can go for the takedown. So for me, I really don't know who's gonna win the fight. If he stands toe to toe with Henderson, I think we've seen in the Fedor Emelianenko fight that he'll take a punch to give a punch, and I think that's a dangerous war if you want to enter into that. But if he stays on the outside, I think he'll have a chance to beat him.
Yep, I agree. I couldn't have broke it down better myself. But that's actually exactly how I see that fight going down. So, but I think Henderson's going to end up winning it because I think Evans is going to start – because Henderson's not going to chase him. And I think Evans is going to start getting a little frustrated, want to stay in the pocket a little bit more, and that's when Henderson does his best. Because he will take a punch to give a punch.
That's a bad move. I've been hit by Dan is not only the right hand. Every punch he throws hard. He doesn't even know how to throw like a timing jab. His jab makes you feel like it's a straight right hand. So I think he's going to get in there and feel that, you know. I think he's going to try to wrestle Henderson. I think he's going to remember what Jake Shields did and how he kept pressuring him. I think he's going to use the wrestling to set up his punches. That would be my way of fighting him. I mean, I would never go in there and stand toe-to-toe with Dan Henderson. He punches too hard, and he takes a hit too. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, Tyron, I appreciate you coming on here. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck next week.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.